Man, oh man, oh man, we've had a lot of good weeks. A lot of good weeks in 2022. And it wasn't that we won major races this week, but this was one of the most exciting weeks, right? We saw a lot of babies look fantastic, schooling, come back, look schooling. We saw 2 of our babies win maiden races and look fantastic. Swinging Senorita was great. Una Madonna was great. And quite frankly, our third filly that would have raced and did race, Horn Player, looked like she was on her way to victory lane when she knuckled over and made a break at the head of the lane in the maiden race the other night. So, you know, if the worst thing that happens to us is that one of our 2-year-old fillies makes a break and our other 2-year-old filly wins the race, we'll be in pretty good shape. So just a fantastic week all around. I was super pumped with the professionalism showed. You could see how green Swinging Senorita was, but put in a position to strike and win, you saw how professional she looked. She just looked so good. Una Madonna, again, pounced on opportunity and was a winner. Looked good on the right line. We're going to address that this week, but looked super fantastic to me. And then we saw some horses climb out of some areas that we didn't want them in. Sweet on Pete was tremendous last night. You know, her knee boot fell down going around the first turn. It didn't seem to bother her at all. Just a rout in 55-2, 28-4, earplugs in, wrapped up, going down the lane. And I think, as I said in the video last night, that's indicative of how horse racing is, right? When we see a horse race bad like she did a week ago at the Meadows, you know, you're left saying to yourself, man, we got to change something, we got to do something. And sometimes it's not about all the changes you make, but what you don't do, right? You don't panic. You don't, you don't go into panic mode and try to have a bunch of stuff done to the horses. Simply just let them work through it. We knew we had the right shoes on her. That was pretty clear, especially after we had our vet Mike Latessa look at the horse. I was comfortable that the shoes we had on her were proper. I was comfortable that the equipment we had on her was proper. So if we have her hung up right, and she's as good as we can have her right now, it's just a matter of maybe tweaking a little bit the workload that is attributed to a racehorse. So we didn't train her hard this week. We didn't warm her up hard this week. That probably played a major role in how she raced. Understanding that although there may have needed to be changes, they weren't major. And what could they be? What would they be? And clearly the very tiny changes we made to Sweet on Pete this week looked tremendous on the track. She just looked like the horse we wanted her to be. Now, the other 2 fillies were a little bit flat, and 1-2 Skip a Few and Purple Aura, but Purple Aura was a little bit behind also starting out. I talked to Jason quite a bit last night about Purple Aura after we sat down watching the races from Ontario in the barn. Him and I went over the video with Purple Aura a couple of times, looked at her equipment, decided together we were going to make some changes on her next week. 1-2 Skip a Few. I think whatever's going on with her is again minor, but at the same token, I'm interested to see what her blood work's going to look like. Her scope was not bad last night, so let's take a look at that blood work together and see what we find out with her. The fairs are starting up soon, and I think she really enjoys the fairs as much as I do. In fact, Purple Aura probably will like getting there too, getting some confidence into these fillies. I think Pete, a little too big for the fairs now, so probably not a lot of fair work in the future for Pete. But at the same token, I think the other 2 fillies will be impressed and happy with the way the fairs go this year and the way that it all turns out. I guess maybe not impressed. I'll be impressed, I'm sure of that. But, so a little run through about what went on, a few little highlights. I don't think I missed much. Just trying to think of the small runs. I missed, so I'll start with that horse. Ross Leonard was a winner with a training win with Massive Profit. He looked awesome. Why are some of these roads so noisy? Whatever. Ross Leonard had a training win with Massive Profit. I was very happy with the way he looked. Actually, the horse that was second to Massive Profit I bid on the other day. That horse sold on Gate, I think for 32 or 34,000. I didn't get close to that, but I did bid on the horse. It was Fashion Hall or Hall Fashion or something like that. So Ross Leonard had a good week for us. Now Mo Power Baby will be heading to Ross Leonard also in the very near future. I talked to him about her this week. Didn't get a race this week. Wanted to give her an easy week. I might just school her at Mohawk on Tuesday, pack up all her gear, and send her and her gear to Ross Leonard to race in the maidens, starting into the Sire Stakes on July the 12th with Mo Power Baby. That's likely what you'll see happen in the near future. Now Harry, although had a quiet week, still had a good week. Bolt Power was great last night, raced awesome. Brave World was a winner last Monday and looked very, very good. Got his hands tied a little bit this week. 9-hole at Georgian Downs in what looks to be a stiff field. Brave World's going to have a tough go of it, I think, this week at Georgian Downs. And then Century Invictus, first last week, second the other night, raced very, very good. Again, I've talked about this horse extensively, about what is going on with him and where he might go. I can't help but feel somewhere inside that maybe his, racing opportunities, I guess that's the best way to put it, his racing opportunities are hampered here in, I'm in Ohio right now on my way home, are hampered a little bit by only racing at Grand River. He races for like $8,000 or $9,000 at Grand River. I can't help but think that he'd be much more effective and race for a lot more money at a track like Yonkers. But I don't really know what he fits or where he could go. So I think before we start taking the next step with potentially moving him, if that's the plan, I have to look at what his path looks like forward in Yonkers and I guess that area. Jason had a very, very good week. Sweet on Pete, as I said, was tremendous last night. New lifetime mark. And make no mistake, the very best mile of her life. Mechanically, comfortably, strength-wise, the very best mile in her life was last night. She looked awesome. And I think somebody said, I told you she's a Sire Stake filly. Easy now, Chief. She didn't race any Sire Stake fillies last night. And the Sire Stakes fillies are still a deep division. So I think the plan was Sweet on Pete. Now, I have a little concern because there's only been one division in the Sire Stake, which means, are they going to be able to fill a consolation this year? We might race all of our fillies in the last division just to make sure that they hopefully get a consolation to go. We could race Sweet on Pete in the consolation of the Sires and then the final of the Buckeye. That would be interesting. That would be the best way to go, I think. So first and foremost, Sweet on Pete was tremendous last night. What about Slim Jimmy this week? He looked like a bear cat. Tell you what he did do, and I didn't talk to Jason about it yet. He hit his elbow. It was inevitable. There's no way this horse couldn't hit his elbow the way he trots. He's got one of the biggest gaits I've seen in my entire life on a trotter. He is beautiful to watch, but not shocking that he get into that elbow. Drew a little blood on his left elbow. Funny, High Gear No Fear, White Tiger, and him, left elbow. Only left elbow. Don't hit the right one. I was talking to Daryl about it last night, and he said, it's weird he only hit one elbow. I said, you know what's weird? We have 3 horses that potentially have, will, or did hit their elbows, and it's all, every time it's the left elbow. How weird is that? That's weird. Yeah. So Slim Jimmy was fantastic. Frosty Trouble was great. Touches Jack the other night. No big deal. But looked good, 56-2. As I said, I think I've gone into depth of why he's in the sale. I think he's worth a lot more than the reserve of $21,000 that is on him. Now that's the selling point, 21. So he'll be sold at 21. But I think he's worth quite a bit more than that. We'll see how the sale plays out tomorrow. This time of year, you can never tell. There's always people looking for horses, but is there less? Are they looking for different horses? I don't know how they'll sell tomorrow. I know for sure Captain in the Air and Always Charming will sell because they've already had bids on them and there's no reserve. So they're definitely going to sell. I suspect there's a pretty good chance everybody will sell tomorrow for what we have. The reserves will be met, I believe, on the horses we have. They're just worth more than what we put the reserve on them with. And I can't possibly sell them for less. So Frosty Trouble was very good. Next one up, Levitor, a winner last week. Didn't put him in this week. The class won on Saturday, and I'm glad I didn't after looking who was in there. It's a tough bunch. They don't go for enough money. They just don't. If we retain him, fine. I'll know Monday afternoon if we retain him. We'll race him Friday at Mohawk. There's one horse for sure I don't mind keeping, and I don't have a problem saying his reserve is 25, and that's low. That's very low for Levator. Per Lucky was good the other night. Wasn't awesome, but was good. Jason said this is like 4 or 5 weeks in a row, I think, for this guy. Maybe give him a week. Absolutely. Give him a week. If you think he needs a week, have the vet look at him. Certainly no problem there. So I don't know yet if Per Lucky will race this week coming or the week after, but he'll race. Likely in Scioto, likely in the backup class. And then Purple Aura was I was going to say adequate, but she was better than adequate, but not great. She was good. And I think it goes back to, as I said, when I watched the replay with Jason, found a few little issues that I thought were really costing her. We're going to address those this week, and then we'll be back to racing her. I don't know where her next start is. I think her next start might be in Scioto. And there's a series coming up next week, maybe. I hope it's not Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm excited, but a little concerned. I know there's a couple of 2-year-olds we want to race, and they race next week. I'm gone away. Horn player. Maybe I can get back for Thursday and back to the Meadows Friday. Saturday, I don't know where I'll be. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm in Kentucky for next week for Una Madonna, Walk on the Moon, Unbeatable Kemp, Blue Bayou Dio. We'll see how Yes races tonight. He may be on that list. And then if by chance Crew Chief isn't sold, he likely will be going to Kentucky also. So 5 or 6 horses heading down to Jason Robinson also here this week. Then we had Dominic. Dominic had a tremendous week also. Got his first. This was his first week with Una Madonna also. She was not in his care before the qualifier. Just such a nice filly. James said if it just on the right line hard, but no lameness issues. We did find some issues in her mouth. She had a couple of wolf teeth, but was still on the line. So curious what's going on there. We'll get to the bottom of that this week. She'll race in Oak Grove. First start in the Sire Stakes coming up next week. Unbeatable Kemp is going to go up to the vet. Got to get the blacksmith in to change some shoes on him. He was very, very good. He's been very, very good. Him and Blue Bayou Dio got to the bottom of the Blue Bayou Dio issue right away. I told you guys there was something up with her. She just wasn't on her game the other night. Couldn't put my finger on it exactly what it was. Did she tie up? It couldn't be bleeding because I knew going to the gate she wasn't awesome. So I didn't think it was bleeding. I thought maybe she tied up a bit. A hair maybe, but no, that wasn't it. Her liver count was up way too high, and she too is off a little bit right hind, needs a little bit of vet work. She's going to Melissa McKee on Dr. Melissa McKee's on Monday. And then obviously a big week. Crew Chief was second at Georgian last week. I'm going to race him tonight. Him and Laugh Now, this is probably their last start for us tonight. Tonight in Ontario at Georgian Downs. Laugh Now was a very good winner last week. Crew Chief was actually a very good fourth, only beat a Snout for second and raced very, very good. Very happy with the way he's raced so far this year. And then Sailor was just tremendous. You know, when we got this horse, think back when we got him, he was just an absolute stone cold runaway. And now looks much better. Much better. 27 and a piece. I think 27 and 1 maybe on the end of it. But 27 and a piece on the end of it, and looked very, very good finishing up his mile. James drove him perfect, as he's been doing all year for the most part. James drove him perfect. The horse looked great. Everything went well for Sailor, and he's back in to go Monday night also. So good luck to the Sailor crew. Mario had a good week also. Renegade Gypsy. He was 1 foot in the trailer, so to speak. He was on his way out. He was going to Saratoga. I had Mark Beckwith call right after they say, is he still coming? Because Beckwith was watching, and he liked what he saw. I said, no, you know what? Fair's fair. You know, that fluid motion I talk about where we need to be able to move our horses quickly, that has to work both ways, right? We have to be able to put a stop to movements when they don't look like they're what we need at the moment, and it certainly looks like Renegade Gypsy found his mojo, so to speak, and raced very, very good. Man, did he get off the gate or what? Wow. So very, very happy with the way he raced the other night also. And then Cash Deals and Austral Hanover just looked tremendous for Mario. Now, Mario's had Cash Deals from day one. Austral Hanover, he got late in the season. But both those horses have looked very, very good. Austral Hanover is going to be going to the Meadows this week. And then Cash Deals will be starting her racing career very, very soon. Just both look very, very good this week for him. And then, so ahead, what do we got ahead? We've already raced 3 babies. We had 2 wins and a third. We have 4 in at Northfield Park on Wednesday with Magical Tom racing against What a Mission. Real Fear racing against Victor Cruz. So we got 4 in here. We got 4 in Monday at Mohawk, right? Brace for Landing. And Brace for Landing is going to race against Nothing But a Dreamer. That'll be exciting. First start ever without first trip, except for the last week training. First trips without hobbles on for Nothing But a Dreamer. That in itself is an incredible feat. I never would have believed that even a few weeks ago. He feels awesome. Can't wait to race him Monday, but he is up against Brace for Landing, who pretty nice horse. And then Carter Michael Dio and Enzo Aguayo was square off also on Monday evening. This week we have the pop-up series, a mini-series starting in Pennsylvania. Fashion Presidente will race in that, as will Austral Hanover will race in that on the colt side. Then on the filly side, we have Sister Solange will be racing, and she'll be racing with Leaps and Bounds. So that should be a lot of fun. 2 horses heading out for the first time across the border will be Austral Hanover and Leaps and Bounds this week. Stake races coming up this week. Una Madonna is going to race next weekend, but not before Silent Assassin. She's going to be our first stake race of the year. Yes, she is. Silent Assassin is going to be our first stake race of the year. She's going to race on Monday at Saratoga in the Excelsior A. My brother Mark, I believe, is going to drive her for Mark Beckwith. So good luck to them. You know, I got to thinking, here it is, Father's Day, 2022. And in my opening, I told you guys how proud I was of the horses, what they've become, what they've done. But moreover, and obviously thankful to you. I say it all the time, but I can't stop saying how thankful I am to you for allowing us to put together the burn we did this year. But looking at our horses, I can't help but say, geez, thinking back to all the cold days and horrible weather we had this year, our caretakers taking care of the horses best they can, our trainers doing such a great job. And every year, it just seems like we find a way they find a way to get the horses in the best shape they can heading into stake season. And man, they certainly look like they're in good shape. You want to know what kind of shape we're in. Take away the horses that we turned out for a little while, the ones that we sold. 35 horses are stake horses in our barn. 35. And that's not sire stake. That could be grassroots or stallion series or Buckeye or whatever. But these are 35 horses that will see stakes in 2022 and belong in them, from what I can see. They think I'm wrong? Have a little listen. Austral Hanover, just a win is qualifier, and 2-1 is qualifier, and 2-1-2-2 come 28-29. Look great. Most definitely at least Stallion Series horse this year, but he's going to race this week. Brace for Landing goes without saying. Carter Michael Dio goes without saying. These are 2 horses that I think are destined and headed towards Grand Circuit racing. Cash Deals, Philly looked fantastic the other day. He can race her in the grassroots or the gold, either one, and she'll probably start in the gold, I would imagine. Just a very, very nice filly all around. She's really turned out to be a nice filly. Keep in mind, that was the first horse we bought this year in public auction, I believe, was Cash Deals. I believe she was. Coupe de Ville, no doubt in my mind, all 6 of those fillies are sire stake fillies. Now, I had somebody say the other day, easy now, Full Heart. Don't kid yourself. Full Heart's one of our best horses. She shut her air off the other day. I know she did. And secondly, I know she tied up. Now, we haven't got the blood work back. I meant to ask Jason about the blood work on her. But she did tie up. It was pretty obvious. She was a little stiff coming out of the back stall. She did tie up the other day in the qualifier. So her line doesn't look good. But make no mistake, we have 6 legit sire stake fillies. Now, even if we opt to race Full Heart or first start and get some exposure in with horses she should be, we drop her into the Buckeyes, show her a few fairs, get her some racing. She's a smart enough filly. I think she'll come around. But 6 fillies, 6 trotting fillies is what we have. 6 fillies that I know will probably see sire stake action this season. Crantini looked unbelievable the other day. Now, just so we're keeping track, sire stake I guess I'll grade you. I'll tell you what I think they are. Austral Hanover, Stallion Series. Brace for landing, top tier. I believe he'll find Grand Circuit company this year. Same goes for Carter Michael Dio. Top tier colt, I believe he'll race in the Sire Stakes and in the Grand Circuit events. Cash Deals will likely find a gold or a grassroots, doesn't matter. She could probably do in either. Coupe de Ville will find the Sire Stakes, top tier Sire Stakes in Ohio. Crantini will be a Sire Stake horse in Pennsylvania and will find some Grand Circuit company. I'm sure of that. Cunning Connie, probably a grassroots filly in Ontario and looked good. 2-1 the other day. That 31 seconds, don't say, oh, she walked. It was windy. It was a crappy day. 31 seconds wasn't a horrible last quarter in the gale force winds that we were facing in the qualifiers. And if you don't believe me, just go back and look at all the chart lines. Sure, there were some 29s, a couple of 28s on the paces, but this time of year you're used to seeing some 26 in the pieces, 27 on the pace side. 28-2 was the fastest last quarter, I believe, of the day, and Gandalf the Black was tied for that, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, I don't really care. It sounded great. Enzo Aguayo goes out saying it's a Sire Stake colt likely, who I believe will probably face some Grand Circuit company at some point this year. So now we're talking Grand Circuit. You can call me wrong, but I don't know what information you would have to do so. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 4 so far, and we got to Enzo. I jumped over Cutie Cumber. I'm not going to grade her, because I don't like what I saw the last 3 weeks, but that was the only 3 weeks of her life that I didn't. And I don't think it's speed. She's always had speed. I just think she was in a little bit of a funk. So I'm not going to grade her right now, because if she's not a Sire Stake filly, I'm not leaving Canada with her. I think she's too good. We're going to make sure she stays good. I'm not going to grade her. I could lie to you and say, oh, well, she's going to be in the Breeders' Crown. I don't know what she's going to do, so I'm not going to grade her. I'll tell you what she's not doing. She's not going to New York to be an Excelsior filly. That's what she's not doing. So as of right now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 Grand Circuit horses that I believe will see Grand Circuit company, and we're at Enzo. This isn't dreaming. This is information-based. This is me speaking in an information-based way. Enzo Aguayo qualified in 59, last 3 quarters, 127-4. I think it's fair. What I'm saying isn't a dream. This is here. It's on paper in black and white. So Enzo Aguayo is number 4 that I believe will see top-tier company. Fashion Presidente, I would have said overnight, maybe Stallion, but I don't know now. That qualifier was impressive the other day. I'll mark him a Stallion. He might be more. I have no idea. That was an impressive. You guys don't know how impressive that qualifier was the other day. He looked very good. So we'll call him Stallion with an absolute potential for more. Still at 4 in the Grand Circuit. Full Heart, I know will be a Sire Stake filly, but we'll call her a Buckeye filly for now. But I know she'll make it to the Sire Stakes. Gandalf the Black, grassroots overnight, but a very weird horse. As I said a number of times, probably see him race 5 or 6 times at Mohawk, and then we'll put him away. I like what I see in this horse, but his best racing is ahead of him. That self-confidence, that lack of self-confidence when he gets to the turns and gets a little scrambly, he's not going to be able to race at Grand River. I don't even think he'll get a race at Georgian. He's going to have to be Mohawk. We're going to have to be very cognitive of the fact that you got to watch him when he gets to the turns. He's not dangerous. He'll make a break. He recovers quite quickly. But I want to get him out of that. And I think that I see him advancing, but I just don't see him advancing to the point where he'd say, okay, in 3 starts, we'll take him to Grand River. We'll take him. I don't see that happening. I think he's going to race 5 or 6 times at Mohawk, and then we're going to shut him down and look for 2023. This could be a nice horse. I like what I see in Gandalf the Black. And that is the complete opposite of what I said in February, but these are horses. They're living, breathing animals, and they can change, and you should take note of what I just said. Gandalf the Black was a horrible animal in February or March, but he just couldn't do his work, and therefore he didn't try to do his work. But once the corks came off, and he started to get stronger, and a little speed soak into him, he liked it. He started to like his work. We changed his shoes. He got a little better at it. By the time we got to the qualifiers, not only was he good at his work, he liked it. Now, he's not as good as we need him to be. Still made those breaks in the qualifier last week and did get out of gear in the last turn this week, but was pacing as hard as he could lay his legs the entire way through the mile, and there's nothing more I love than that. So Gandalf the Black, not only is he probably safe at the stable, probably going to race 5 or 6 times and then be turned out. So call that what you want. A couple of grassroots maybe at Mohawk. I don't know. But he'll be a good horse for us. GJ's ATM is going to be a sire stake horse in Illinois. There's no two ways about that. High Enterprise, most definitely. I just trained her with the hobbles on for the first time. Most definitely going to be a sire stake horse here in Ohio. Landing Pad, Landing Strip, another 2 horses I don't know. They're not going to New Jersey for June the 30th. So that's the sire stake program for them. They're paid into a number of events. Are they going to see staking action this year? Yes, I believe so. And I like both of them. So I guess there's no real grassroots in New Jersey. And I can't call them Grand Circuit horses off what I've seen, although I like what I've seen. Again, what this video is about what this portion of the video is about information-based perception. What I perceive the horses will do off what I've seen so far. No guesses. Has to be hard facts. And Landing Strip and Landing Pad, I think, will both get to the races and do very well, but I can't say what they'll be just yet. That would be unfair. And it would dilute this list, quite frankly. But keep in mind, there's 35 of them on this list. 35 horses on this list. Leaps and Bounds will be a Stallion Series filly, likely in Pennsylvania. If she's more, that'll be up to her. Magical Tom will likely be a sire stake colt, but he'll be a stake colt of some sort, for sure. That I'm sure. Mo Power Baby, again, will be a stake horse in Indiana. She won her qualifier easy on a crappy day and 2-2 come 29 seconds. Probably ready to trot in 58 right now. She is a nice filly. More Than You Know. I don't know if this guy will leave to race in the stakes. He may. So maybe he doesn't belong on this list. Going to be an effective horse. Come 27 apiece, 28 with him the other day, a mile and 2-1. He was exceptionally good. Very happy with what I saw from More Than You Know the other day. Going to be a lot of fun racing this guy. Nothing But a Dreamer is a gold colt. As sure as I'm a foot tall. Very, very nice colt. Cannot wait to race him, and it all starts on Monday night. Old Check, I believe, is a grassroots and a Prospect Series colt. He's going to be fun to race. Put a couple of steps in the other. I don't know where they came from, but he'll be fun to race this horse this summer. I'm sure he will. Real Fear, I don't know. Again, will he be a Buckeye? Will he be a sire stake horse? Pretty hard to judge sire stake horses when there's so many good horses in Ohio. And Ohio bred just won the North American Cup last night, in case you're keeping score. So Real Fear, I'm going to call him a Buckeye colt. We're going to see how he makes out throughout the summer, but it'll be a lot of fun to race him regardless. He drew the 8-hole on Wednesday, and before anybody says what happened to Real Fear on Wednesday, I am going to get away last with Real Fear. That's where he's going to get away on Wednesday night. And he's going to get raced, but I'm not going to race him like it's a stake race, because it's not. I think that he'll have a tough time beating Victor Cruz with the 3-hole on Wednesday. If he does, great. If he doesn't, that's fine too. But Real Fear is a real nice horse. Sir Strong, again, he's in that same category as Landing Pad and Landing Strip. Will he see stakes? Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll see stakes. 2-4 last half in a minute the other day and looked good. Austin Sorry went with him. Him and those other 2 colts just need some more gate work, and they're going to get it this week. I like Sir Strong, though, and I think he's got a good future in the stable for sure. Sister Solange, I don't know whether she's a sire stake filly or a Stallion Series filly, but again, her career starts this week in the Meadows. Biggest thing with her is to keep putting the weight back on her. Keep putting it on. That will be the key to Sister Solange in 2022. Smoking Hot Irish Girl, as sure as I'm, as I said, as I'm a foot tall, she's a sire stake filly. This is one of her nicest fillies. Her biggest fight right now is who's going to the next generation. Is it Smoking Hot Irish Girl? Is it Swinging Senorita? There's a reason I put the hobbles on High Enterprise today. I'm going to qualify her probably a mile and 58 on Thursday, and then we'll see what's up. Now, I know that Coupe de Ville, as I said to Jason, I think she's one of our fastest fillies, but I want to protect her. She touches herself. That right foot bothers her a little bit. I want to protect her this year. She's not going to the next generation. She will be going to some fairs. She will be going to the sire stakes. I think she's a sire stake filly, and we'll see how the rest of her year looks. She's a very nice filly, and I think she's got a lot of good in front of her, most definitely. So we have her, we have Swinging Senorita, Smoking Hot Irish Girl, High Enterprise, Coupe de Ville, Full Heart. Who's the other one? Ooh, I hate that. I can only get 5 of them every time. Whispering Song. Again, she got to be on this. Is she on the list? She's a Sire Stake filly also. Spitfire Overseas, I think, is 100% Sire Stake Grand Circuit material. Got to get those couple little wrinkles out of him that I saw the other day. I'm going to go with him this week, Tuesday, and then he'll be back into qualify Friday. I think James can go with him on Friday. Want to get along? I don't know what the couple little times he threw some shuffles in. I didn't like them. So we'll see what he does this week. When James goes with him. Very fast colt, but he's at a transition right now where you have to be able to drop the hammer and keep it dropped for a while. Be able to trot those quarters in 27, halves in 57 to be considered a Grand Circuit type colt, and I think Spitfire Overseas 100% is. Let's see how good he is in the coming weeks and months. Swinging Senorita 100%. A Sire Stake filly, no two ways about it. She was awesome the other day. Tactical Mounds, I know is going to be a stake filly of some sort. I don't know where or what yet. I liked what I saw yesterday with her training with the hobbles on. She may race this week. Actually, no, I can't come back. She may race this week, this Thursday maybe. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. You may see her race this Thursday. We'll see. And I told the owner, I'd let him know. I can't be back for Monday. I can't be here for Friday. The only night, and it's not easy, I may not be able to get back for Thursday. Wednesday, I'm definitely in the Meadows and Northfield Park. Thursday, I'm absolutely in the Meadows. Thursday afternoon. Now, can I get back to Mohawk? Maybe, but I have to be in the Meadows Friday evening also. That's when those pop-up series are, Thursday and Friday. Saturday, I don't know where I'm at yet. Sunday, I'm in Kentucky. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in Kentucky. So a big week going on for us, for me, for you, for everyone at the stable in the weeks coming up. Tailgate Buzz, I would have said stone cold stake horse all year long, but been a little flat his last couple. He's going to have to work his way back into that rotation. But no doubt in my mind, he's a stake horse of some sort. I think, as again, this list has to be based on information in front of us, so he is a Stallion Series horse right now. We'll see if he can climb his way back into stake category soon enough. If not, be a nice horse to race in the Stallion Series. And then we have Una Madonna. I don't have to tell you, this is a Grand Circuit filly. I'm sure of it. I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, easy, Anthony, 2-2. We've already been in 2 minutes with her. She can trot in 55, 56 right now if she had to. I think she's going to trot probably 57 in Kentucky, which I think is probably going to do just fine for her. So we'll see, but super happy with Una Madonna so far. But again, the professionalism. Yeah, she was on the right line. I made a break right in front of her. James could have plowed right into me, right? Didn't even bother. Boom. Threw her head once. How you doing? See you later. And away you go. Jogged. Very, very nice filly. Victor Cruz is likely a Buckeye and fair colt, but again, a stake colt. What a mission. I'm telling you, you might see this guy climb his way up and at the last minute end up in the next generation. I never would have thought it. This small little scrawny horse, but he can rock. That was a big mile by himself, 59 the other day. Now he's got the rail with Justin Irvine. Justin's probably going to be a little protective of him. I just want to see the horse do his work and do it well on Wednesday. But make no mistake, this is a nice colt, really nice colt. And Whispering Song, Sire Stake horse, as I said, I'm positive of that. 5, 6 Sire Stake fillies here for Ohio. We called it way back when. I said, historically speaking, I think all of our trotting fillies are Sire Stake material. I'm sticking to what I said on June the 19th or 20th, 2022. I'm still telling you we have 6 Sire Stake fillies. Don't know if we have any Sire Stake colts. I don't know. I hope we got 1, maybe 2, but I know we have 6 Sire Stake fillies. So, with that, it's Father's Day 2022. I'm on my way home, be greeted by my family. I'm sure the house is full of presents, cake. Might be not. I get to race at Georgia Downs on Father's Day, so tonight I'll be in Barrie, which will likely mark the last start for Laugh Now and Crew Chief for us. Bittersweet in that regard. I like both the horses, but as I said, we got a lot going on. We have to be able to move. I think it's worth noting that in tomorrow's sale, I also am looking at some horses to buy. one or two for sure. Probably going to have some people saying, why are we selling a bunch to bring on more? There's always going to be that churn. There has to be now. We have a model that has worked extremely well for us. I keep beating this drum, but I will, so that people understand where we're at and where we're coming from, where we're going. We have a model that has worked exceptionally well for us over the last year. I certainly don't feel there's any need to regress back to the way we operated. And I do believe there's even more forward motion for us moving forward. I think we're poised to have a great year. I hope we have a great year, and I can't wait to see the summer unfold for us in 2022. So with that is a long but very poignant opening. 35 horses on our list that I believe are stake horses. You think about it. We bought what? 50 some. We had we turned maybe, let's say we had 50. I think we had 52. We sold 2 or 3 is 49. We turned 5 or 6 out, it's 43. Of the 43 that are there, I'm telling you 35 are stake horses. That is a pretty remarkable number. And that's not me patting myself on the back, because it certainly wasn't me. 1, it was you allowing us to buy the horses. 2, it was the horses themselves doing the work. And 3, our trainers and our caretakers allowing them, taking care of them, and allowing them to become the horses that they look like they're about to be. So with that, again, super excited about the weeks ahead. Really even excited about tonight, tomorrow, and beyond. I hope you guys are having a great run, because we are having a great run. So we'll talk to you all very soon.